I'd be like, pull it out, yeah. So that would happen, and when you got a lot of time, you're healing. You have to do something with your mind because it's quite depressing to not be able to. I was already pretty athletic from skating and stuff, skateboarding, and so that's what happened. And then I decided, well, this is actually really good stuff. It's really healthy stuff. And then so that's what I'm doing now. Oddly enough, still like 20-something years now.
So you were able to just you had a connection with it right away.
Yeah,
it just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I got into it and I just really liked it, and I thought, well, this is a way better way to, help other people heal and kind of put a lot of that sort of violent stuff in my past, which not that I don't think that I was purposely. I would only get crazy when someone would try to bully me or something, and that's when I would, I would only react out of defense. That's why I ended up in yoga and ended up kind of devoting my life to the more integral arts practice and stuff.
It's so crazy. The transition is just so, you just plugged in and that was it. I mean, you healed up and then you started teaching after that.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much I healed up my injuries. Yoga is a really healthy, kind of wise choice for somebody who comes from kind of a more street background or, a rougher background. Which, again, when you're in it, you don't realize it. I'm sure there are a lot of people that are probably going to watch this and go, what the hell is he talking about?
Dude,
it wasn't that violent.
There's a couple other guys that are from the scene that are doing yoga as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it makes sense because when you go through intense upbringing and you see a lot of people getting hurt, there's nothing that glamorous really about your friends, whatever, coming back all beat up.
Yeah.
When people ask me about what's the craziest stuff you saw, a lot of times I don't really want to repeat it because I feel like it's not really that positive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's nothing that I want to wear on my sleeve.
Well, it's all. I mean, I also grew up in a time where punk rock wasn't accepted.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember friends being bullied and stuff too.
How about the police?
Yeah, or the police bullying me. That happened too. I mean, that happened, but not as much to me. But it did happen to the older kids. I was so young.
We seem to be a little wiser. We seem to kind of have a leg up on getting away before the storm. Kind of always.
Yeah, and I also think we were so young that we were protected. A lot of my friends are like, didn't you have enemies or whatever from that? And I'm like, I was so young, nobody. I never had a beef with the West Side people or the East Side people. I never had that because I was the kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid. How do you have a beef with an 11-year-old?
I think that was also part of our whole trip was the unity of what we had.
We were lucky that we were so young, and so we didn't get in the same, a lot of the same problems that some of the other kids do. Not that I was a saint or anything, but I was never into, also when you're playing shows, you don't want to riot.
Busy.
Well, you don't want to riot to ensue because, then you got to pack up your gear in a riot, and that's not fun.
Right.
And other people joke about, we'll burn the place down, and we would actually play shows and the Hideaway riot,
they would burn the place
place on fire. They lit that place on fire, and we had to pull all of our gear out. I was 10. That was our second show.
That's
and
crazy.
so we had to push gear out of the place and get all of our equipment that we barely could afford to even buy.
Right.
During a riot. And so, the cops luckily didn't beat us up or anything, but again, we were obviously part of the show. So now I just own Earth Power Yoga. I own a yoga studio, and I don't hide my past at all. Most of the people that work with me know, they know that I was in a band, which, I don't know that they know all the details of it, but I think, I don't really I don't know. I don't find that I hide anything, or I don't have to.
Right.
It's all a lesson. Everything you do in life has its purpose, and you learn from all that stuff. And so now, my life's pretty simple. I have my son Dash and Zoe, and my wife. I'm married. I'm still in Hollywood, actually, and I think that they're both great lifestyles. I don't put down that old lifestyle, that sort of rock and roll and punk rock and all that. I think it's cool. It's cool. But as you get older and as you've, healed your body and learned techniques of meditation and yoga, it's a way of peace, and it's a way to kind of let the past go and, heal your body and your mind.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I am now. I mean, now I'm really just focused on just teaching other people. And I do get some people that are, recovering alcoholics and musicians, of course, because I'm still linked to music because of my past.
Yeah.
And so I work with those guys, and sometimes I'll coach them a little bit in ways to, replace. I don't think you quit addictions. I think you replace them, with other things that are a little more healthy. And, that's where I am now. The punk rock thing will always be a part of my life. And I think Brenda Perlin did that book, LA Punk Rocker, which I'll plug that one. It's kind of a similar thing, reminiscing about the past. And, I'm proud of it. I think that is a part of you that should always, there's a saying that's in the Tao Te Ching. It says, know the white, but keep the black. Right. The truth is, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever your heart desire is. School helps you. I mean, I think, some people think I'm against school because I didn't, go through full university. I study all the time. I'm still learning. I studied, if I put in all the hours that I've studied yoga, I'd probably have a pretty major degree in, yoga and physiology and stuff.
Well, you've been very consistent with it for a long time, which is,
a long time.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's whether you can do the job. It's, what's the right path for you and what works in your life.
You have to do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. That's what matters, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
The punk rock thing, I think, was also rooted, very much in a lot of anger and stuff. And, there was a bad recession at that time as well. And, we came from kind of low-income families.
Yeah.
And so I think we did connect to that anger.
Yeah.
But then the question is, what do you do now? So that's what you got. That's what life sort of hands you.